What if you could take a medical system that's built on thousands of years of wisdom and fuse it with the most advanced technology of our time? Well, it's not science fiction. It's a revolution that's happening in healthcare right now. Today, we're diving into the pretty incredible world where ancient traditional Chinese medicine meets artificial intelligence. Okay, so before we get to the AI part, we've got to understand the foundation it's all built on. Traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, isn't just about herbs and needles. It's a deep system of thought that's been refined over millennia. It's a whole philosophy, really, about how our bodies, our minds, and the world around us are all connected. And believe me, it is a complete system. Just a glance at this list, and you can see it has its own unique language. You've probably heard of yin-yang, that idea of balancing forces, or qi, the body's vital energy, but those are just scratching the surface. Concepts like the meridians, which are like energy highways in the body, create this really rich and complex framework for understanding our health. All right, so to really get how AI is shaking things up, we first need to appreciate the art and science at its core. Let's dig into those foundations. When you boil it all down, TCM is about one thing: balance. It sees the body as this totally interconnected system. The main goal? To keep your body's vital energy, your qi, flowing smoothly. It's a pretty simple idea, right? When your qi is balanced and flowing free, you're healthy. When it gets stuck or out of whack, that's when illness can pop up. So how does a practitioner actually figure out if your qi is off balance? Well, this is where the 4 diagnostic pillars come in. You can think of them as TCM's original form of data collection. And this is where you really see that holistic approach shine. A practitioner uses all their senses. They're looking at your tongue and your complexion. They're listening to the sound of your voice. They're asking you a ton of questions about your life. And, so important, they're feeling the tiny, subtle qualities of your pulse. Each one of these steps is a vital piece of the diagnostic puzzle. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that it's super personalized. No 2 diagnoses are ever going to be exactly the same. But here's the challenge. It really depends on the skill, the experience, and, the subjective interpretation of one single person. That's made it tough to standardize, and that is exactly where our story is about to take a very modern turn. So, that challenge of subjectivity? Well, that's exactly where this ancient tradition meets our modern world. Enter artificial intelligence. This is the moment where data science starts to merge with ancient wisdom, all to bring a new level of objectivity and insight to TCM. This really breaks down the difference, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the traditional practitioner. Their judgment comes from decades of hands-on experience, leading to this really nuanced, holistic interpretation. But on the other hand, you have AI. It's trained on massive data sets from millions of cases. That lets it spot these incredibly subtle patterns, things that might be totally invisible to the human eye. And that brings a new level of objective, standardized analysis to the table. And this isn't just some theory, AI is already being used in TCM in some very real, very practical ways. So let's take a look at how it's actually changing the game today. And the impact here is huge. We're not just talking about one little thing. It's everything from standardizing a diagnosis and fine-tuning herbal formulas to improving acupuncture and even helping out with robotics. AI is making its mark across basically every part of TCM. Take diagnosis, for instance. An AI can look at millions of pictures of tongues or analyze data from high-tech pulse-taking devices. It learns to connect these tiny visual and sensory patterns to specific health issues with a level of precision and consistency that is, well, frankly, superhuman. Or think about herbal medicine. TCM formulas can be super complex, right? Sometimes a dozen or more ingredients. AI algorithms can crunch data from ancient texts and modern clinical studies to optimize these formulas, making sure that patients get the most effective and consistent treatment out there. This is what standardization looks like. So, as you can see, the biggest waves are being made in diagnosis and herbal medicine. And that makes sense, right? Those are the 2 areas where spotting patterns in massive amounts of data and creating standards really pays off. But AI is also making some serious headway in helping with acupuncture and speeding up important research. But this whole thing, this fusion of AI and TCM, it's doing more than just changing how doctors work. It's actually building a whole new industry, a modern ecosystem around this ancient medicine. It all starts with education. You've got universities creating brand new programs and research projects, all focused on AI and Chinese medicine. They're training a new generation of practitioners who can speak both languages, ancient theory and modern data science. And what fuels all this new research? Data. We're talking about the creation of these massive shared databases. They're like digital libraries full of clinical information, ancient texts, and patient data. All of it is the raw material for training smarter and smarter AI models. And of course, this technology isn't just staying locked up in a lab, it's landing right on our phones. We're seeing more and more health apps that use AI to give you personalized diet advice or wellness tips, all based on TCM principles. So you've got the research, the data, the apps. And what does that all lead to? Business. A whole wave of startups and tech companies are jumping in, developing cutting-edge technology designed specifically for this new, modernized TCM industry. So you can see how these three pillars, the academic research, the cutting-edge tech, and the new businesses, they all work together. They're the engine that's driving this entire industry forward, creating this powerful mix of ancient tradition and modern innovation. So what's the most important thing to take away from all this? It's this. AI isn't here to kick the skilled TCM practitioner out the door. Not at all. The real goal is to empower them. It's about creating a partnership, giving these healers incredible data-driven tools that just make their own human skills even more powerful. And that leaves us with a pretty incredible final thought, doesn't it? We're watching one of the oldest healing traditions on Earth get a massive upgrade from our very newest technology. It really makes you wonder, as this fusion of ancient wisdom and artificial intelligence gets deeper, what's next for the future of our health?